Hey guys, Big Andrew here, world's strongest phlebotomist, out here in my home gym. This is an off day for me. I don't usually train on days like today. I take Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off from training right now to try to help my body recover. I work nights at the hospital on the weekends, and my shift ends Monday morning at 6:30, and I need to take Monday off to recover, to sleep, to eat, to regather my thoughts, because the weekends from Friday night through Monday morning are very busy, even though it's the weekend and I'm working nights and I'm trying to get my sleep in and everything. So Mondays are not training days for me anymore, which is a little awkward for me. Um, I started doing this about 2 months ago, I guess, not training on Mondays. And I've always trained Mondays. You never skip Monday. And for me, Monday was always leg day. My squat day, I did heavy squats. I would do deadlifts and things like that on Mondays. And I loved it. It was a great way to start my week and really set the tone for the rest of the week. But now I've got to make some changes because my body needs time to recuperate and my brain needs time to recuperate. That central nervous system will get wore out if you don't respect your brain health and your ability to recover. So I'm doing this on a Monday outside in my home gym, and I'm not training today. You see the bar behind me has actually got some weights and stuff on it. You might be able to see that here. That's from my wife's workout. She's getting really strong. She's got goals. She's setting goals and she's doing things, and I'm really proud of her. Really proud of her. Really proud to help coach her and train her, and to get her to a point where she can realize these goals on her own. And she comes out and she trains by herself a lot of times. A lot of times I'm very busy running around, running errands, doing things, trying to get stuff set up for upgrade, my fitness and wellness coaching and consulting business, and studying. I am still working with my dad at the church. I'm the assistant pastor or associate pastor or whatever my title is. And I still teach Sunday school and I still preach on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, I'll be preaching for the next several midweek services. We have a Wednesday evening service. If you're in the Johnson City, Tennessee area, Jonesboro or Elizabethton, anywhere in there, Gray, come visit us, man. We'd love to have you at The Answer, right in the middle of Johnson City, right by the VA. It's a great little church, and we'd love to have you visit. Now, for my thought from the bench. It's a lot of intro there. My thought from the bench, brought to you by, of course, Victory Fit Gym here in Jonesboro, Tennessee. Wonderful gym. You should definitely try it out. And by Maximum Performance Peptides. You try them out. Look them up on Instagram. Follow them on my Instagram page. The code Big Andrew K10 will get you 10% off of any peptides that you want. I'll try to leave a link to them in the description of this video here. But definitely check out Victory Fit here in town. Check out Maximum Performance online. And if you're in the Johnson City area, I'll have a review coming up for another gym that I've been working with through Upgrade. And it's a great little gym on the other side of Johnson City. I'll have some more information about that later. My thought from the bench today, I'm going to do something I haven't done in quite a while. I'm going to read some scripture to you. Now, of course, this is my Athlete's Bible from our local chapter of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. This is Psalm 29, verse 1. This is a psalm of David. Ascribe to the Lord, you heavenly beings. Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord glory due his name. Worship the Lord in the splendor of his holiness. I'm not a huge fan of this particular translation. This is the CSB here. The way it translates this verse, I've read it in a few other translations. The idea there is to honor God with the strength and the glory due his name, right? This particular translation seems to point out heavenly beings. That is the angels and everything. And that's fine. It's a fine translation. It's the way that they read it, the way that they applied it. That's what they think it says. That's fine. But in other translations, it just says things like, "Oh, ye mighty." Actually, down here in the bottom has got a footnote, "Sons of God" or "Sons of the Mighty Ones," or whatever, things like that. And in the King James, it just says, "Oh, ye mighty," something like that. And the idea there is to render to God the things that belong to Him. He has strength, and He is powerful, and He is gracious. And I was just meditating on this today, and I was out walking my property in my bare feet. It's a gorgeous day out here in Tennessee, and I was trying to kind of get my feet on the grass and kind of reset myself a little bit and meditate and think on these things, and the fact that God is all righteous, all judgment. I mean, absolutely pure and perfect, and sets the standard and the boundaries and the rules and the morals of right and wrong. Even an atheist has to acknowledge that morals come from somewhere. And you can't say morals come from inside, because you have the same morals that everybody else has, right? We all believe killing is wrong. We don't want to be lied to. We want to be faithful to our partners, our spouses, our husbands and wives. And we want to be faithful to these things. We don't want to cheat people. We don't want to be cheated. We all have this same idea. But where did those morals come from? They didn't come from inside of us, because we have no moral compass on our own if we're just animals. But they do come from somewhere, and they would come from God, because God set the morals. That's what I believe. I believe God set the morals for everything. In order to set the morals for everything, we have to understand that He is perfect, righteous, and just. With all that, He's merciful and gracious. And these ideas of mercy and grace don't cancel out His righteousness or His justice, His judgment. They don't cancel that out. They complement it. They balance it. I don't understand how it works. I wish I could explain how it works, but I don't. It makes my head hurt to try to understand it, but I know that's how it works. It's not like a car engine that you can break down and you can say, "Oh, this does this, does this, does this." If the fuel goes this way and the air goes this way and the spark goes this way, the piston goes this way and the car goes this way. That's basic physics. And we can understand that. We design that. We're people. Human beings design that. It's not like you can go to AI and say, "AI, this is how this is." And a human designed AI. AI will never be more intelligent than people, because people designed it. A creation cannot be greater than its creator. That's both biblical and scientifically accurate. I mean, you can say that AI is scary. You can say that all these things are scary. Well, you know what? They were scared of the steam engine, I'm sure, at one time. They were scared of everything. People were afraid you couldn't drive 25 miles an hour because they thought your neck wasn't strong enough and it would blow your head off. And now we got cars that break the sound barrier. I mean, that's insane. It's insane to think that we're scared of all these things until we realize that it's nothing to be scared of. We created it. We can make it do whatever we want. God created us. He can do whatever He wants to with us. He's strong. He's mighty. He's more powerful than we can imagine. And if you think you can understand God, then the God that you believe in is too small. Too small. And He's not real. If you think you can wrap your head around all the teachings of Jesus and everything to a point where you can distill it down to exactly what it means every single time, and you know the little guidepost and the little place you're supposed to live, and you have this little legalistic idea that you don't do this, you don't go here, you don't say this, you don't live this way, you don't do these things, you don't fellowship with these people. You have that little circle. That's your circle of comfort zone. That's fine. But if that's your God is too small. If that's your Jesus is too small. A Jesus that's small enough to understand, a salvation that's small enough to wrap your head around how it works exactly, a God that's somebody that you can fully grasp is a God that doesn't exist, a salvation, a Jesus that doesn't exist. It's too small. It's too small. But back to the verse. Back to what it says here about giving God strength. He doesn't need your strength. Ascribing to God strength and might and all these things. He doesn't need that. He's got it already. So what does it say? It's saying give God your strength. Ascribe to him your strength. Understand he is mighty. When you ascribe his might to him, his strength to him, his power to him, what you're saying is, I acknowledge it. I acknowledge he is mighty. I acknowledge he is strong. I acknowledge he is the creator of everything. I acknowledge who he is. Acknowledge him. And then give him your strengths. What is your strengths? Well, me, I like lifting weights. I love being strong. I love it. I'm competing at the World Strength Games here in 70 days, 75 days, something like that. And I'm looking forward to it, man. I am coming for that podium. I am so pumped to go out to Utah here in just a couple months and really just hammer down and fight for that podium. I'm so excited to go do this. I love being strong. I have a certain amount of natural strength ability that was given to me. It's genetic. My dad's very strong. So it's sort of hereditary. At the same time, it was a gift from God. God gave me what I have and trusted me to use it. And trusted me to use it for him. Now, maybe physical strength isn't your thing. My family has a lot of artists in it. We have painters and musicians and actors and actresses and stuff like that. Very artistic people. I'm not an artistic person, but they're very artistic people. And they can use that to honor God and to give their strength to God. We have people, my wife is very wonderful at keeping things organized. She's very good at it. She's also very good at baking and cooking. She likes to do those things for people, and she likes to do it for the family. My wife has a lot of love to give, and she has a lot of administrative gifts inherently in her. She keeps the books for me and my business and for the church. She manages these things. She takes care of these things. She makes sure these things get done all on time. She takes care of it for our family to help me keep track of when the bills are due and everything, because I'm really not good at keeping track of all those things. But she is. She's giving her strength to God to do those things. And God's giving her more strength. The more you give to God, the more you get back from God. Now, I heard an excerpt from a sermon this morning. I was at the hospital and I went into a patient's room to do a blood test. And she had one of those TV preachers on. A lot of TV preachers are, I'm just going to say it, shysters. They're milking people. And this guy, every time I have seen him on TV, preaches about giving money. Every single time. If you're watching a TV preacher on a regular basis and he spends every single sermon, quote unquote, talking about how God will bless you financially if you give to the ministry financially, you need to turn that TV off. Go watch cartoons. You'll get more out of it. Because that guy is just trying to get your money. That's it. He just wants your money. He doesn't care about your soul. He does, maybe not, and maybe he does, but so I shouldn't say that, but he doesn't care like I think he should. I'll say that. And he cares more about your wallet than he does you, because he wants this ministry to keep going. Now, if you're watching a preacher and they say, would you like to donate, call this, and the preacher doesn't get up and just say, this is what you need to do with your finances, send them to me, throw them up to God, and he'll throw more back down to you, right? Or they talk about, seed money. They talk about seed money, leave them alone. Move on. That's bull. If they're talking about donating, right, for whatever reason, and be a judge of whatever's going on. But be wary of these people. Anyway, so I'm in there. And this guy's talking about giving. And he's talking about, one time he gave all he had. He promised $100 for this particular thing. And he said, oh my goodness, where am I going to get $100? And he's praying. He's like, God, where am I going to get $100? And he drove to this church where his dad was the pastor. And when he gets out there, this guy goes up to him. Sorry, my kids or somebody's out there playing. Some guy comes up to him, piano player, says, listen, God's blessed me with a whole lot of money, and I've got a pocket full of $100 bills, and God told me to give you one of them. So he gives him one $100 bill, and the guy's like, oh my goodness, I have $100 bills. And he takes that $100 and he donates it to the thing that he promised it to, right? So he does that, and he goes on a week or two later to the next thing. And somebody comes up to him and says, sir, we've been told that we need to give you $150. So we give him a check for $150. And he's like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And he donates to this, the next thing. And all these things. He's like, everywhere he went, he had a little bit of money, gave this little bit, and then God said, here, I'm going to give you a whole bunch more. And he says, if you do that, you'll get that. It's not exactly how it works. It's not, if you give God money, he'll give you money. It's not, if you dedicate your child to God, he'll give you more children. It's not, if you dedicate your time to God, he'll give you more time. Everybody gets 24 hours. Everybody is appointed at one point in their life to die. The Bible tells us that. You don't get more. It's going to be the same all the time. Look at Charlie Kirk. Christians have venerated Charlie Kirk. He's a saint now, and he was very young. Was he 32 or whatever when he died? Very young when he died, killed by the assassin. The guy donated a lot of his time. The guy gave his life to spreading freedom. We look at that in American ideals and stuff like that, and the gospel. Gave it to God and gave the gospel to people all over the country and by the internet all over the world. I mean, it was a really, really wonderful way to spend your life is to give it away like that. God didn't give him more years. He died. His legacy is still going. His ministry is still going. He gave what he had to God, and God said, okay, you've done everything you need to do, and he died, and his legacy is still going. Look at John the Baptist in the Bible. John the Baptist died young. John the Baptist was killed young for preaching the truth of the Word of God to other people. Here we are 2,000 years later, and he's all through the New Testament. He's all through the Gospels. Read them. Jesus has a lot to say about John the Baptist. Jesus said, of everybody born of a woman, there's never been a greater person than John the Baptist. Jesus said that. It's right there in the book of Matthew. I mean, that's incredible. But he died young. He gave everything he had. He gave his might. He gave his ability. He gave his voice. He gave his time. God didn't give him more time. But God gave him a legacy. He gave all those things. Whatever your strength is, whatever it is, you need to give it to God. Just give it to him. He can use it and he can bless it. Besides, the Bible says, give him might, your might. Give him your strength. Give him your abilities. Give him that. Because he deserves it. He's the one that gave it to you in the first place. You should use it for him. I've had a hard time the last couple of weeks in training, and I probably shouldn't be sharing this, but I'm going to. I kind of lost some of my love for the sport of strongman and for training. And it happens. Everybody gets that way, you know. I kind of lost some of that. I lost some of that fire, that drive. I was getting to a point where I was kind of overtraining a little bit, and that was part of it. And then everything has become so mechanical, and I have to eat and train and sleep and all these things, and I'm missing out on time with my family and all that. And I'm making a lot of sacrifices for this upcoming show. It's the biggest show of my entire life. Definitely the biggest one of my career up to this point. And it's been a struggle. And I was praying, and I said, God, if you don't want me to do this, I'll stop. If you do want me to do this, I need some help. I need to feel that hunger. I need to feel that love again for this. There's so many things going on in my life, and I was just wore out. And it's not a good place to be less than 90 days out from a show. And God gave me Psalm 29:1. He reminded me. I just opened my Bible, reading my personal devotions, and that was the verse that came up. Give the Lord your might and your strength. And I realized that there was something inside of me that belonged to God. He gave it to me. He made me this. I can glorify Him through it. So that's what I want to encourage you to do. Glorify God with your strength. Present it to God and say, God, listen, you've given me this. I want to use it for you. Glorify Him through those things. He deserves it. So there you go. There's your thought from the bench from Big Andrew, the world's strongest phlebotomist. I hope that's an encouragement to you. If you have any questions about anything like this, shoot me a message. Look me up. Look me up on Instagram. Big Andrew K on Instagram. I would love to talk to you. I try to answer as many DMs as I get. So send me one. Talk to me. All right. Otherwise, I hope this helped you. I hope you can go out and you can do something for God. Have a good day, y'all.